Alright, so I'm going to do the walkthrough of the Dodge Nitro. I'll start front to back, I suppose. So, as you can see up here, I got two yellow tops. And there's the mechman 240. I know it doesn't look like room yet, but right next to it is going to be the 320 that I'm going to get here shortly. And that's actually going to be running separately from this alternator. It's only going to be powering the 5K. That's it. But yeah, for now, I have a positive wire running in between the two batteries, as well as a negative. And then each battery has its own charging wire, of course. And then my two that run to the back come from the alternator and then go back. Those are the two that go back. Kind of fit in there. And as for this battery, I have 4 grounds on there, looking kind of corroded, but very soon here I'm also going to be doing OFC wire. Actually, yeah, just going to make the purchase. But yeah, this one I got 2 grounds going down here to the factory spot, and then the other 2 run to the leg or the foot of the alternator. And then actually no, there's only one. This one's a factory ground. I only added 3. And the same for this side, but I'll have this one mounted to the shock tower. It looks rusty, but it was cleaned prior to installing it. And as well, that one's got a ground to the motor, then also or engine, and also there's a ground going from the engine to the chassis as well in the same 2 spots. Outside of that, this doesn't fit in your regular nitro. You have to make a bracket, which is honestly kind of janky, but it works. Hadn't been in an accident or anything, but it's mounted fairly solidly. I actually used the yellow top part that comes with the batteries when you buy them, the top part, and then you can kind of see there, down here, right there, I just ran a bolt bracket from a factory bolt location straight over to give it a shelf type of load. And then at that I got another spacer holding it up. But actually this weekend I'll be hopefully working on the brackets for this, tear apart the front end. But AEM, air intake. I guess outside of that, that's pretty much it for up here. Starting here, there's about to be door panels too on the front doors. Can't see it, but I got the Scar 6.5s in there. And then I got my bullet tweeters up here in the dash. Look at that resting voltage. Even the interior lights are on and it's still resting there. I like that. And then I just updated the CD player. A lot of you haven't seen or even knew about this. Kind of dusty, but like $100 CD player, but DEH S6120BS. Not quite as good as the 80 PRS, of course, but this I got it because it has a mid-high pass and a mid-low pass, so I thought that was pretty nice. It cleaned up the sound quality quite a bit in here. And I don't really use this at all. This is always off. I mainly just use it for the SPL meter that's in it. There is a voltmeter, of course, built into it too, but I got the one up top, which, speaking of, below that is going to be the second voltmeter for the second alternator as well. This thing isn't accurate by any means. I found anything that I see on here, it's about 1 to 2 decibels louder down in the kick, which my door open, this door closed, and the SPL meter down there at 39 hertz. I did 152.1. It's my best score so far. I can almost guarantee that score will get a lot better when I get the second alternator in there. And this is still kind of in the workings, but this is my iPad holder that I made. It's just MDF, basically a lot of sawing to get like that groove in there. And it's kind of, I tried to clean it up, but I might end up building another one here soon. But that works good. It doesn't come out. I got it so you slide it up and come out. And then outside of that, up here I got the Scar Audio bass knob. I don't want to say I don't recommend them, but I don't, because there's no nut on the stem on there. So over time, as you use it, it loosens up the solder joints and then starts to fail on you. I actually went in there and put some JB weld on it, but shortly here I'll just get a new one. And I plasti dipped all the chrome, which looks like crap, mainly because I got the new tires on. This I haven't showed any of the YouTube. You see my front seat catches this and ripped it off, but I don't know, this was my first project really with doing something visible anyways with a fiberglass project. So as you can see, the edges are super rough. I'm gonna round these over, of course, smooth that out, and I'll probably do some Bondo. But regardless of that though, it sounds amazing. I got a lot more sound out of the 6.5s, like mid-range. They even got louder just because of the enclosure part. And then there's the XTR 1.00 TW tweeters. They sound pretty good. I haven't had any issues. I'm putting about 10 more watts to each of these tweeters than they recommend. And up under here is that crunch amp I got. You can't really see it too well, but I believe it's a PRZ 1000.2. Probably not even doing 75 watts times 2, but that's what I got power in the 10s. And those, I don't even have those playing under. Actually, I got those set on the same cutoff as those, so this is just doing like 80 hertz and up, so they aren't real too noticeable. I'll come back to the back in a minute here, but then this also looks pretty bad yet. I still got to do some cleaning up on it, but regardless, I had a kid, which was the big reason why I haven't really been doing much on YouTube for the last couple months. But because of the kid, I took down, which I don't think I put any videos on that, but I had all my amps and batteries stacked up right here. I had the seat gone. But kids will change your car, I've found out. But yeah, so anyways, I put my 4 channels down here. The one you're seeing now is the 1000.4. I got fans on both sides, so it's pulling air straight all the way through and out. You can't see the other one, but the other's down there. And get this car seat out here real quick. Move some of my shit. This is kind of messy yet, but about as clean as it'll get until I add in my new battery and the alternator. Things will change then, but we'll start with this since this was talked about in the comments on my last video. But this is my grounding block. It's just the aluminum bar that I drilled holes in and tapped holes. I got the same type of aluminum, but I got little squares under here to mount it off of the chassis a little bit. But either way, I got 3 bolts, 3 3/8 bolts going straight through down. This is where it's all spot welded and where the multiple layers of sheet metal come together. So I bolted straight through that. Probably can't really show you much, but you can maybe kind of see them up there. Actually, yeah, there they are. But anyways, the bottom side that I just showed you is where that 4-aught gauge is going to go. I'm just going to bolt it to the bottom side of that bolt, and then that 4 gauge will run up to the engine and mount to the alternator. As for the batteries, there's my other yellow top sitting sideways for a little extra space. This, I've never heard of them before. It was a $200 battery. It was cheap. VP 2400. Mighty Max Batteries is the actual brand of this, not Viper. This is just like their side brand or whatever, but I mean, it's about 66 pounds, I believe. It's holding up really well. It recharges super fast. That's what I like most about it. For draw wise, I can't really give you an answer on that because I just don't have enough electrical in here to supply that beast all the time. But either way, it's a work in progress. As you can see, this is a new mount location for it. It actually worked out really nice. Behind the plastic here in these nitros, you got a big gap, so I got a lot of 2x4s back there filling in the gap, so this had a solid mount. I'd have the end cap on the side, but it's just like a half an inch too big to shut the back seat. So these fuse blocks will be changing soon. They're good fuse blocks. I don't want the mini fuses anymore. Like the ones you've seen under the hood, that's what I'm going to put in here. But I got 3 175 amp fuses in there. The amp calls for 500 amps in fusing, which is impossible to make with 3 fuses unless you do certain stuff, I suppose, to make it happen. But either way, that's close as I got. So, and I make my own battery terminals. I couldn't. Well, I actually can tell you if you let me find my tape over here. They're an inch by a little less than ½ inch, so I'm assuming 375. But that's, I don't know. You can get them on Granger. I'm sure there's other places you can get them, but I make my own, hell of a lot cheaper, and they work just the same. I guess that's all about if you got the tools or not. And then as between here, I got 2 positives and 2 negatives running in between the 2 batteries. Actually, I only have, yeah. And then for each battery, I believe, well, this one only has 2 grounds going to the chassis, and then I got 4 grounds for this one going to the chassis. 4 gauge speaker wire inside. I got 8 gauge speaker wire. All my power wire and the sub speaker wire is knukoncepts. They make really good wire. I'm probably going to go with Sky High Audio just because they're cheaper on the OFC that I'm going to replace all of this with, which kind of sucks because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, just sit on it. But then as for the woofers, those are the 15s. They are 5,000 watts RMS a piece, which I'm sure continuously you probably couldn't get away with that much, but regardless, the 2,500 I got on them right now, each is doing well. Actually, I'm sure my rise is way beyond that, but also they're blown out right now. I gotta be honest with you. You can't maybe kind of see the red in the spring there, but they're I got airbags in there. Just fill it up with this little nozzle right there for the extra weight, but they blew out on the trip that I took to North Dakota recently, so I'm gonna have to get a new one. The box, when I originally built it, was I believe about 3 cubes each side, and then I was trying to tune for 29 hertz, but after I ended up putting the 45s in, you know, each corner of the box on the inside, I'm sure that went up a little bit, but regardless, in the vehicle itself, it peaks at 39, so it's a little sloppy back here. I still got some cleaning up to do, but I can't quite get to my spare tire anymore, so I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. As for the box, it's 1.5 inches all the way around, except for the top. I actually have 5 layers of 3/4 inch. And the reason why is because I inverted the subs, and I liked the way it sounded, but I didn't like the subs being inverted, so I just added 3 more layers to make up for the air volume and kind of met in the middle. Can't quite see it, but oh yeah, you can. I got expando foam all on the rear hatch. It's actually very solid. It's fat mat. Well, yeah, fat mat, I believe. But I got that throughout the car. Just little, foam layers to keep rattling down. Can't say I think of anything I missed, but a lot of work coming soon. A lot of videos gonna be coming soon. Got the workshop all wired up. That was something else I was doing. I was putting a floor in here, putting walls in here, putting lights and stuff. So been kind of picking away in my workshop. But yeah, I guess until the next one.